Hey everyone, before we get into today's video, I wanted to say a quick thank you to Truck Parking Club. They're out there trying to help drivers find and have more options for parking at the end of their days. So I got a special promo code so you can get one heck of a deal. So check them out. Hey everyone, my name is Jeremy and this is Rain's Transportation, and today I got a special video for you. I'm here with Charlie. He's somebody that I trained last year, and we're going to get caught up on what's happening and what his experience has been so far. So with that being said, let's hear a little bit about you, give me some background, and also, is there any social media that you wanted to put up and get that plugged already?
Well, hi everybody, I'm Charlie. I am a rail driver in the dry division. I am technically in the Midwest regional lanes, but I have been running a national just because for me it works out better for pay wise. I am 36, about to be 37. I'm married. I don't have any kids, so there's that. I came to rail simply because I did my research. My number one piece of advice for somebody who wants to get into this industry: do your research, because this isn't a 9-to-5 job. This is a run when you have a load job. This is, you work 12, 14, 16-hour days jobs. That's the basic info about me. I'm sure Jeremy here has some questions for me, and I'm gonna do my best to try to answer them.
Yeah, sure. No, I try to prepare a little bit. I went to the Chat GPT and I'm like, hey, what is 10 questions that may somebody that's interested in one of these programs where you do a contract and then they help get your CDL in that one. So actually, I texted you. Do you want to pull up those questions?
I do.
And we could just pick them off.
Yeah,
but there was one question on the top of my head that I wanted to start out with, I guess, and that was, what are some of the main reasons that people have bad experiences when they take on a program where they like this, where you're contract for a CDL? What do you think?
I would think the main thing that I would see, and I saw this in my class particularly, people come here or come to whatever trucking company that you're going to, they come here with the bad mindset. They come here with no research, no background info. They don't understand what they're getting themselves into. This job, well, I say job, this is not a job, this is not a career, this is a lifestyle. Because a job, you go to work 8 to 5. A career, you may do 40 years on salary. This is a lifestyle, because there's weeks where you'll have good weeks, there's weeks where you'll have bad weeks, and there's weeks where you'll have great weeks. So my thing is that when you come to a program such as Rail has a contract for to get your CDL, the GYCDL program. It is a 120,000 mile contract. Or you pay $7,000. So I knew that going in. I personally do not have the financial means to come up with $7,000. So I'm going to be here for the full contract at least. But there are several members, actually most of the members in my class are now gone and are now on the bill for that $7,000. Simply because they weren't prepared mentally. They weren't prepared research, or for whatever reason. There's only 3 of us left out of my class.
Which, how big was it?
My class, we started with 12. We lost 1 the second week, and 1 failed.
Yeah, and that sounds probably about standard for the turnover rate. If you guys are aware of the trucking has a very high turnover rate, so that's probably about anywhere you go.
Yep. Anywhere you go. And I've seen it. I've been around trucking my whole life. My dad's a trucker. My mom was a dispatcher. I mean, I've been around it my whole life. So what I see from my point of view is the turnover rate in trucking is probably, if not the highest level out of any career, any job, anywhere in the world. I would say, I think the last time I saw it, it was like 85%. don't last 1 year.
Yeah. And part of that is, I think you did, you nail on the head when you said essentially expectations. They didn't do the research, and so they come to it with expectations that weren't going to be met. And so a lot of people, they're expecting to get paid more, and then when they see the actual the wages that they're getting, that's disappointment.
Mm-hmm.
And so that lack of research and understanding what like a person with this contract, because the pay is challenging because you're learning how to do your time management, and so your first few months are just getting up to speed so you could begin to start making money. And if people don't prepare, that was another one of your points, you got to be able to the better off, the more prepared you are, the smoother transition it's going to be until you're up and running full speed. So
yeah, and to touch on what you said, the recruiters and social media and recruiting websites, their job is to get bodies in the door. Their job is to get phone calls. So they're going to entice you with, oh, well, you're going to make $85,000 to $100,000 your first year. That's not going to happen. You're just not.
They'll use fancy language like up to our top earners, and that may be correct. There are top earners. Like I say, the top 30% of drivers will be making like 60,000 to 70,000, something like that, and that's probably closer to accurate. But they do try to get those people in the door, and this is another thing. The recruiters, I think they could do a lot better job at being fully transparent and preparing these expectations. I think that they don't communicate clearly what's happening sometimes. Now, this isn't everybody, but I've seen that where the recruiter will bring them in, but then the expectations don't meet the realities that was set up. So.
Yep. And that's the thing is, for the people who just see that ad, they say, oh, well, you're going to make X amount of dollars your first year, but you're not reading the fine print. And also, you can't take that picture as gold. You got to take that picture, find your company that you're interested in, and then get out, put your feet out there, put that phone in your hand, and Google and read comments, read reviews, everything that you can before you make a decision to go to whatever company it is. Roehl, I probably did 3 or 4 months worth of research, and that's not just reading comments online. I actually spoke to drivers,
dozens of them probably.
Several members, and actually I still speak to them every day. Drivers here with Roehl, and I got first-hand knowledge. Now, I'm not saying that everybody can get that, but do your research before you make a decision, because once you make that decision, if you don't have the financial means, you're going to be in world of trouble when you don't fulfill your contract.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And also, there's a lot of communities out there revolving around companies. So if you get on any social media, there's Facebook groups I know where you can actually talk to the drivers in the group and kind of, prepare yourself a little bit better. But let's shift gears a little bit. And there's been just some stuff that I've been thinking over and I've been mulling over. And that is, can everyone be a trucker? Can everyone get a CDL? And for me, unfortunately, the answer is no. And I've personally witnessed a small percentage, but there's been, like 1 in 20 or 1 in 10 guys that just don't have the situational awareness, and they don't have the standards to be safely out there on the road with my family. So as trainers, I think it's really important, because he's going to be a trainer. I know it. He's going to be a great trainer as well. He's coming up. But so as trainers, it's our responsibility to make sure we don't send somebody out there that's not prepared to safely operate the equipment and get the job done. And so that's part of it. Part of it, it's saying, hey, I'm sorry, from what I've witnessed, we'll try, we'll grow and see if you could take the feedback that I'm giving you. But when somebody's personality trait is inattentive or clumsy, this becomes kind of something to consider, like, hey, maybe you need to be behind a desk.
And no, absolutely not. Not everybody can be a truck driver, and it's a sad world. Recent events have proven that across the country, and I'm not going to go into all that. That's too much political stuff. I'm not going to get into that. But no, not everybody can or should be a trucker.
Mm-hmm.
Now, don't get me wrong. I think if you have the mental capacity and the maturity to do this job, I think anybody could do this job. It is not an impossible job to do. The hard part is not the driving. The driving is the easy part. The hard part is the dealing with the customers, paying attention to your surroundings, and knowing how to handle a situation when it comes up. And I'm going to go in here. This is going to be just a little bit of a gold star for Jeremy here. But I've been put into situations where if I did not have a good trainer, I would have probably hit something. So, without his training, I don't know where I would be at.
Yeah.
So, there is a fine line between whether you can or whether you should. So just because you can doesn't mean you should. And I'm just going to leave it at that.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for that. No, I definitely take my job seriously, and I try to prepare people to, get out there and share the road with my family, because that's, everybody has their, their wife, their kids out there on the road. And, when you're maneuvering in tight areas in big cities, it's a lot. It could be really a lot. And so, let's get it locked in. Let's get what we need to be done. And let's get it done. All right.
A couple other things I want to touch on. Let me pull up here.
Yeah, sure.
One of the questions I was asked was, how did the program prepare me to do my job? And let me give you an example. And this just happened to me recently. And there was a load that I just delivered, and it delivered to a paper mill up in New York. And there was a wall about 35 feet in front of my nose. Now, mind you, this is a 72-foot long vehicle, and the docks were angled, and it was dark. Now, Jeremy taught me a way to back up using a tight space, but able to maneuver that trailer the way I needed it to. So, without the training that I learned on the road, and the tips that I learned during the first phase, which is when you're getting your CDL, I wouldn't have been able to maneuver that trailer into that dock. There's been multiple other occasions, but that's just a recent one. When you come to a program such as Roehl's, it is designed for you to succeed. Now, they are not a CDL mill. They're not just going to give you a CDL. They're not just going to bring anybody in. They're going to bring in the people that they think are going to be successful, because that you are an investment to them. So, to cut all else short, the program will make you successful if you want it to.
It's a good formula.
It is. It is a 3-phase formula, and everything they do is for a purpose. So this program will make you successful if you want it to be.
Yep. And that's absolutely right. If you get out what you put in. So if you come here and you come in with an open mind, ready to receive feedback and ready to, apply yourself and grow, you're not going to have any problems.
That's right.
You're going to have ups and downs. There's going to be customers detaining you in docks. And this speaks back to why do some people have bad experiences in some of this. I think that there's rude shippers and receivers. There is really lengthy delays, and if you don't have something to do with your downtime. So, for example, I make YouTube videos and I do content and stuff like this when I'm sitting in docks, and so I have something that I look forward to whenever I have any downtime, and I'm not just sitting there waiting for that light to turn green, frustrated and angry at these guys because somebody called off, the forklift driver called off, and now I'm sitting in a dock all day long. So stuff like this is the nature of the beast.
That's
You're going to sit in traffic all day. You're going to sit in docks for a long time. So for me, it's just the acceptance. This is the lifestyle that I've chosen, And for people that, you know, are like, man, they're trying to get that money, I understand the frustration, but I also understand that you signed up for traffic and long waits and the whole package.
That's right.
Package deal.
That's
and
right.
So,
Now, we're doing this video on my truck.
yeah.
Okay. Now, I am a first-year rookie driver. Don't even have a year in. And I am sitting in a 2026 Cascadia.
Brand new.
Brand spanking new.
Oh, I'm jealous. I know. I've been in the game for 10 years now, going on 11. My truck has 740,000 miles on it. I put every mile on that truck. I got it new, just like he did. And I want to see you put a million miles on this truck too.
I got this truck with 1,800 miles on it. It now has 15,000. But when I'm sitting in a dock or whatever, I've got my TV, I got my PlayStation.
Nice.
I read, I talk to family, I do TikToks.
Yeah. What was your channel?
My TikTok is none of your business.
Okay, I won't ask then. Sorry.
No, it's called none of your business.
I get it.
Because anyways, I had some people make some comments and stuff,
Sure.
I changed it, so it's none of your business.
I'm gonna link it as well too. So when I put this up,
yeah, come over and check mine out. You'll see what I see on a daily basis, which is the best that this country has to offer.
Yeah.
I don't regret doing this job or coming to Roehl. I'm very thankful for the experience that I've gotten. I'm thankful for the opportunities that I have. Like he said, you get what you put in. If you want to run hard, you want to make money, you want to see the country while getting paid, you can be successful.
Right on.
And I see this a lot on social media, where and even here at Roehl. So Roehl's not a perfect company. I'm not even going to try to say that they're a perfect company, but I hear people complain about how many miles they get in. I'm hearing people complain about what their paychecks look like. So I sit there and ask them. I ask them a series of questions. First question I ask: how hard do you run? Do you stop all the time? Do you extend your brakes? What's your on-time service record? Are you missing a lot of appointments? Or are you on time or early? And the third question, the final question I ask: what is your working relationship with your fleet manager? Do you talk to them regularly? Do you express your concerns? Do you joke around and just call to check in? Those things are the keys to your success.
Yeah.
Because if you're stopping, you're not being on time, and you don't have a good working relationship, your miles are not going to be there. They're not going to trust you to do the job. They're not going to put you in a situation where they're not sure that you're going to make it. I've been called and asked for favors to do because they know that I will get the load there on time.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to brag. I'm not the best driver. I'm still new. But my work ethic is I'm going to run as hard as I can and get there when I can. I don't stop unless I need to. And that's that. You can be successful at this job. You just got to want to. Do you have any other questions?
Was there any other, just like maybe pick one more?
Yeah, I'll pick one more. Let's see here.
I got about 10 minutes, and I did have another idea as well. I really like the TikTok videos that you've been putting out, and I got a song that I think you might like, and at the end of this video, I'll shoot you over that sound or the music, and then if you want to make a TikTok, I'll upload it with this one. So at the end of this video, like an outro, that might be a good idea. If you want to make something, it could be some of the content that you got.
Now, this isn't a question that he sent over. This is just something I've been thinking about. This job is hard. It's not for the weak. And it's even harder for those that have families at home. You know this.
Yeah. I got 4 kids.
So, and we discussed this earlier, but the key to staying grounded is to make sure you maintain that connection at home.
Yeah.
We live in 2025.
Yep.
We live in the most technological advanced society in the world. We have cell phones, we have FaceTime, we have all kinds of things that we can do to maintain that communication. Once you get out here on the road, you and your family come up with a routine. Whatever that routine, what it is, whatever works for you. Me personally, I talk to my wife all the time. In the evening times, we'll eat dinner together via FaceTime. Sometimes we even eat the same thing. We'll watch TV together, so it acts like we're in the same room.
Yeah.
We're just the drivers. The people at home are the real warriors.
Yeah.
They're the ones who are holding it down. They're dealing with everything at the house. They're dealing with kids, school, bills, household stuff, all that. We're just out here doing a job.
Yeah, they make it possible for this. So.
That's right. So if you maintain that communication, you work your routine, it makes your job easier because you're not stressed out about what's going on at home. You're not stressing over missing things or you're missing them and get emotional and depressed. Those are other things that I can recommend for any driver out there. If you have a family at home, get in a routine, use what you have available, and you can do this.
Yeah, definitely 100%. That support at home, So, for example, some things that I do to help my wife is I'll DoorDash groceries or meals to her. And like, hey, honey, don't worry, I got dinner on me tonight, And also just getting creative and things like that, maintaining that relationship, because I see guys out here, I've experienced this personally as well too, they'll go out over the road and they'll be working real hard at long distance, and then their family life and their relationships kind of fall apart and you guys drift apart. And so for me, I asked myself, well, why am I even out here if I'm gonna lose that? And so then I was really hitting it hard and building that foundation, because that foundation is what I'm building my life on. So that's I can't stress it. That's another one. The expectations as well too. So people get in here and they don't understand how it's going to be, and they end up getting divorced. Their wives are out cheating on them, and all kinds of bad stuff. And it's just be careful. These are common things that happen to everybody.
And it goes back to the research. And when you're doing your research, make sure you're sharing that research with your loved ones, with your spouse. Make sure that they understand what is going to be asked of you. Both you as the person and them as the person at home, so you guys can have an understanding and are 100% on the same page before you decide to make this jump. Because once you make this jump, that's it. And I've used this quote, and it was told to me by an old timer. It is very easy to get in the seat, to get behind the wheel. It's impossible to get out. Once this job is in your blood, nothing else compares.
Yeah.
And it's a life. And I love it.
Yeah.
This is my dream. I'm following my dream, and I love this life.
Yep.
Well, thank you, Jeremy.
Yeah. And before we jump off here, we'll end things on a good note. And I wanted to talk about, because I was trying to give you realistic feedback on what the bad side of trucking and trying to prepare you guys. But now I'm going to share a little bit about some of the good stuff out here. And we've actually had some adventures ourselves. We went to like go-kart track. It was right by I-70. We were able to get out there and play around and just enjoy. Traveling. You're constantly on the it's like taking a vacation but never getting there, right? You're driving the whole time, but every now and then you'll stop and you'll get to smell the roses. And I go to Niagara Falls, I go to just different things, beaches all the time. I carry swim trunks and a towel. I'm ready, let's go. And so this is what keeps me in it. I'm able to, it's not just a grind, I'm able to experience life and the country around me, and this is one of the highlights for me. That, and when you're going down the road all day, you pretty much have your time. So I spend my time, listening to podcasts, talking to friends and family, and listening to audiobooks and music. That's how I do it. And so if I created, an education structure for myself. I'll get on ChatGPT and I'll say, ChatGPT, create a syllabus for me regarding parenting, for example. And so specifically, one of my children has autism. She's being diagnosed with it right now. And this was a whole new rabbit hole that I had to go down. I had to really learn so much about some of the challenges that are associated with raising a child with just different needs. And so this is part of the benefit of trucking, because you are given your time and you can get paid to teach yourself whatever's important to you. So yeah, definitely that's what keeps me here. It's not about the money for me. It's like, I'm having an impact on people's lives. I help set him up, and I try to prepare him as well as possible so he could go out there and he could begin a whole new career and improve his life and provide for his family, for himself. And so that's the main reason why I do it. Like, money is, it's nice to get paid for it all, but I assign the meaning and I draw fulfillment from it by design.
Yeah, and yeah, there are a whole lot of good aspects about this job. I mean, you see the best of this country. I have been 20 miles from Canada. I have been down to Florida. I've seen the beach. I've seen historical buildings. So things that I never thought that I would see in a million years, because of this job, because of the opportunity that has been provided for me.
Adventure.
It is an adventure, and I love it. I recommend Roehl. I recommend anybody who has a desire to see the country and get paid to do it.
Yep.
Consider Roehl.
Yep. This could either be a prison, or it could be the keys to your freedom.
That's
and
right.
So it's all in the mindset. It's what, circling back to how we started this podcast. Well, Charlie, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you very much.
I really appreciate it.
My TikTok, come over and follow me. I got lots of TikToks I post regularly. If you have any questions, shoot me up a message on there. You can DM me on Facebook. Just check me out. All right. Thank you very much. You guys have a good day.
Yep. Thanks, everyone. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.